Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I promised myself I wouldn't do that again, but yeah, we're back for another video. This one is the single biggest reason cryptocurrency will explode. We're reacting to Altcoin Daily today. Fasten your seatbelts. This is a good one. I've heard there's a lot of ADA people in the comments that were talking. You know who you are and you know what you were saying last time I dropped something about ADA. But this is a video I think we're all going to enjoy. So let's get into it.
Cryptocurrencies are not things you adopt because you trust and love government. Cryptocurrencies are not things that you adopt because everything's going great in your society. When things start falling apart, when your money starts falling apart, when there's a lack of trust in government and governance, people start looking for alternative ideas.
Cryptocurrency is just the natural next evolution of money, of technology, of trust in society.
And that's why blockchain as an industry has gone from 2008, a single person, a single author, a single paper, a single protocol, to a $2 trillion industry with hundreds of millions of people in less than 15 years. It's the fastest growing technology in the history of humanity.
Watch today's whole video because there's one specific reason that Bitcoin and the altcoins are going much higher in 2025. Most people won't share this with you. I will.
It's the most
largest shift in human history. There was this quote I heard the other day, and it was talking about what the common man said when the first car was revealed. You want to know what he said? Take a quick guess. Go in the comments, write a comment, take like 10 seconds, put your guess down. Okay? You know what he said? He said, "Why would I need that thing? I have a horse." That's all I need to say about that, bro. That's all I need.
Meaningful and significant technology in the history of humanity because at the core of blockchain, what we're trying to do is solve just simply one thing.
Again, watch today's whole video. Send this video to a friend if they still don't understand the potential of cryptocurrency. And crypto is at that inflection point. We've seen moments like this in history before.
And we've seen this throughout the arc of history. So if you look at Europe during the turn of the 19th and 20th century, all these new political systems formed because they didn't really like kings and queens. So you had the rise of fascism and communism. You had the rise of alternative governance concepts, cooperatives, communes, new types of dictatorships, new types of monarchies. When you look at the 21st century, we're in another inflection point in society globally. The consequences of globalization have created a world where those who have are doing very well.
Right.
And those who do not have, they're starting to feel the pains of inflation. They're starting to feel the...
One thing y'all need to know, and this is something, another quote for y'all, okay? Excuse me, by the way. Rich people are self-made, but poor people are also self-made. Once you start to understand that everything in your life is your fault and you stop looking for external factors to blame the reason why your life's going the way it is, you'll start to see a lot more success. And I just want to say that here because he's about to talk about something similar. But also, if you don't know who this is Charles Hoskinson, okay? CEO and founder of Cardano, all right?
Pains of globalization. And there's a lot of uncertainty and hopelessness that people have. There's a crisis of meaning and a crisis of value.
So the purchasing power of your US dollar has never been lower, this only widening the separation of the haves and the have-nots. And it seems the people in charge, the haves, don't really even know what they're doing. Unrealized losses at US banks are 7 times higher than during the 2008 financial crisis.
So why is it we have more productivity than we've ever had in human history, more education than we've ever had in human history, more capacity to produce and know each other, connect to each other in human history, yet the standard of living is starting to decay, and our belief in the American dream, belief in institutions, our belief in this idea of owning your own home and being able to pay for your own family is deteriorating. It's because the systems are broken.
And they're broken on purpose. Don't let these guys fool you, bro. Inflation and all this other stuff is all planned. There's a reason why the rich hold assets and the poor say, Okay, if you're out there holding assets, or that means stocks, real estate, crypto, commodities, whatever it is, right? Eventually, over time, because they're inflating the dollar, the price of your assets will rise as well. If you are holding the dollar itself, you are going to continually lose spending power. It's such a simple concept. You just need to switch your mind frame and do the things that are going to allow you to grow your wealth over time and stop thinking so short term. This is why you're here. This is why you're here, man. This is why you're here. Just do the things that you know you're supposed to be doing. Take the sacrifice now, and in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line, you will thank yourself. I don't know how many times I have to say that, bro, till it sinks in. And I'm not even talking about you specifically at home, because some of y'all are here and you're watching this video and you are on the right side of history. But I'm telling y'all, there's gonna be a lot of people that are going to say, "Oh, I wish I did." Do not be that person. Don't be that person.
The money's no longer sound. We don't trust each other as much as we used to. And people don't know what to believe or where to go. There's a crisis of meaning in the world.
So right now, the biggest entities on Earth are actively accumulating Bitcoin. In fact, the US Bitcoin ETFs purchased over 4,000 Bitcoin on the 18th,
Yeah, bro.
over 7,000 Bitcoin on the 17th, etc., etc. There's only 450 Bitcoin mined each day.
Supply
This will
shock.
only lead to a supply shock.
Bro, I mean, y'all thinking crypto's not regulated, crypto's not this. Bro, the biggest institutions on the globe are buying Bitcoin now. I don't want to hear that anymore. And buying Ethereum. Soon they'll be buying Solana and Sui and all these other cryptos as well. So stop. I don't want to hear that no more, bro. Don't want to hear it.
As there's simply just not enough Bitcoin for what's being accumulated. And just like big tech controls us now,
Google and Microsoft and Facebook and Amazon and BlackRock and a dozen or so others basically control all the money, all the technology, all the media, everything you see, everything you touch.
Everything.
They own America. That's the reality.
You want to prove it? Go and see what the top 10 companies are, and then look at the top 10 index funds, and just look at who owns a piece and percentage of all of them.
It's why Boeing can get away with what it does and never face any consequences. It's why Pfizer does what it does. And anybody who tries to change this, they're basically delegitimized as people.
Yeah.
So why are we so passionate about who gets to sit in the owned chair? Why don't we ever ask the question, how do we get rid of the ownership behind that chair? Because our founding documents said that's not supposed to happen. The only way you can change that is you have to change the system. These people are powerful because they're middlemen. They own the middlemen. Google owns all your data. Facebook owns the marketplace.
Right.
Microsoft owns all the infrastructure, the plumbing, as does Cisco and a few others, for how you get your data moved around and the operating systems that run on it. And they have all the intellectual property. And that's why they're worth trillions of dollars. That's why they have hundreds of thousands to millions of employees. That's why they're more powerful collectively than a nation state.
They were late to the game on cryptocurrency.
Yo, Charles is spitting right now, brother. He's spitting.
They're actively trying to catch up.
We can pretend it doesn't happen, or we can say, how do you build infrastructure that doesn't have middlemen? This is the economic side of the cryptocurrency industry. This is the magic of what we're doing.
And it's wild just how much of a potential crisis the traditional system is in. Of course, if you're invested in cryptocurrency, that is one of the most bullish charts ever. I loved Darius Dale's interview on the David Lynn YouTube channel. I'll share with you just a clip, but you and me both know that the only way out of this, which they've been doing, the governments, the central banks, since at least 2008 crisis, print their way out of it, turn on the money printer.
This is why we've gotten a sequence of populist monetary and fiscal policy since 2008. And we are likely to continue to get a sequence of that populist fiscal policy going forward.
Sorry, what is a populist monetary policy?
Populist monetary policy is socialist monetary policy, the policy that won't allow big banks to fail. The policy that won't allow, hedge fund managers, my clients, to actually have bad years. That's the kind of policy that we see. It's really just all a function of what we see as kind of the main driver of this, which is, we have this socialist economy.
No, that's a good point because I see a lot of times in traditional finance and the general world and globe, like tradition across traditional finance, there to be massive pullbacks and crashes. That's one thing that we're so blessed to have in crypto, and people look at it as a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing because when we have these massive drawdowns on not only Bitcoin but all altcoins as well every 4 years, if you know the 4 year cycle, you know what I'm talking about. It's good because it flushes out all the garbage, all the things that weren't supposed to be there anyways, and are standing on Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes and all this paper money gets flushed out of the system anyways. And that's why you have these big exchanges that go down. Why you have these multiple, like tens of thousands of cryptos that disappear into the wind. It's because we flush out all the garbage and reset the system every 4 years. And it gives us a new chance to make these monumental, life-changing gains. So, on one side, it's going to suck when institutions are part of this market a lot more, which there are. It's inevitable. It's already happening. But I guess we'll get a lot less of that volatility. And for me, I like volatility. Volatility means that there's liquidity, and liquidity means that there's money to be made. I can make bigger size bets and trades and make money a lot quicker when there's volatility and liquidity. You don't want a stagnant market because usually your whatever you're investing in kind of like bleeds to the downside or stays very stagnant. So, anyways, I'll let him finish.
That sort of masquerading as capitalism, but the reality is when you have socialism, Democrats, they practice socialism for the poor. If you look at the government social benefits divided by household income, that's been up and to the right for the last couple of generations. If you look at the effective corporate tax rate in this country, that's been down and to the right over the past couple of generations. So both parties are combining to support the incomes of their quote unquote constituents.
This is why blockchain is so powerful, because once you really understand it and you spend enough time with it, there's no way to go back into the Platonic cave. You can't. Because you say, you know what? I don't want to live in a world where a small group of people I've never met, I can't get rid of, get to decide all these things.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, are doing a terrible job of running the world.
Again, the Bitcoin on exchanges, all exchanges, is shrinking. The global elites are actively buying as much as they can now. It has never been more important to stay in tune in exactly what's happening in crypto. We're so close to 1.5 million subscribers. Click subscribe to stay informed. Join this community. Join this revolution.
Yes, so to end off this video here, man, I just want to say that thank you for Altcoin Daily for dropping this video. Banger video, Altcoin Daily. Subscribe to me, leave a like and a comment for me too. It really helps the channel grow to get this information out to everyone else. But also, shout out to Charles Hoskinson and Ada Gang, man. I know Ada was on my neck a few months ago when I dropped a video saying Ada's dead. I didn't mean that Cardano's ecosystem was completely dead or even the token was dead. I'm just saying the price has been pretty dead. And that isn't a debate. That is a fact. I hope to see all cryptos succeed because I want to see the space succeed as a whole. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video.